Okay, from what I see, we only missing Bengu, Kirti, Lucha, Mohammed, and Priyanka. Right? Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, I mean in terms of presentations, not missing people.
Okay. Shall I present mine?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Feel free.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is my issue actually. So I have to retrieve the coordinates at the latitude and longitude of the game map. Actually, I have made a PR, but the thing is that it shows like the game instances table. It doesn't have the foreign key actually. So I saw that it was merged, I think, yesterday late night or today morning, I'm not sure. But then I got the table, but it's missing this FK. So I need that. So only then it can show the results. So I'm just waiting for that.
Right. Yes, but who are you waiting on then? You know that?
Sorry?
Who are you waiting on?
Yeah, it was like actually it was our team, but Mohammed was doing that. So it like yesterday he merged it to the develop branch. So actually before merging it has to be done right, but it's already merged to develop and it's the FK is not added. So yeah.
Right. And I guess there's not more to present.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next then? Lucha?
I can go. Yeah. Just give me a second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep. Yes, we can.
Okay. First of all, who is having someone mowing the lawn at the back?
That sounds like it.
Oh, thank you so much. Cool. Then I want to talk about the two things that I've been working this week. First, I was working also with the game instance controller. And can I get rid of this? Yeah. Okay. So you have the code here. My main issue was to show which were the current, to generate the endpoint for the game instance that are currently going on. Yes?
Mhm.
It's been approved already by Niels, but I have the same issue that I couldn't test it without a foreign key. And there is another thing that I want to ask, because I thought about it this morning, so I didn't implement the logic yet. You have to select the statement to retrieve all the game instance record of ongoing games. So I did it, but then I realized I'm just showing all the games that are going on.
Mhm.
And I was thinking if for showing just the games that are available, should I apply some sort of filter using the delete statement? Right? Because I'm assuming that once the game is finished, we're going to delete it from the database. So if the delete time it's not empty, I should be able to use that as a filter to show just the games that are going on now. That makes
Okay.
sense?
Yes and no.
Okay.
If you delete games, you might have an issue with scores and stuff like that. And I'm not a big fan of deleting stuff on the database. So maybe you need a new field.
Okay. Like a new field in the game instance that the game is finished.
Wouldn't you just set the deleted at time then?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
yeah, but doesn't that induce a little bit in error? Because the game is not deleted, right? It's just stopped. It's just not on anymore.
But then maybe what
it's the game instance part, right? Only.
Yeah. But you
otherwise we don't use the deleted at for anything.
No.
Because then you could look up all of the ones that are not deleted, which is ended.
Yeah. We can change delete at for ended, right?
Yes. Or add the field ended. I like to keep the logic of the create, update, and delete it, because you never know if you're gonna implement some logic that will need those fields, and then you already have them. So I would prefer to create a new field, but it's just a preference, you know. I think both solutions work, and it's just a matter of making it work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. As you can see, here I create the database with the last pull from the development. It's just running. Here you got the code. I did the game instance controller. And I was also using the foreign key because I was thinking about what we need to show. So then I don't want to show the ID from the user. I want to show the name of the user, because that will be more user-friendly, right?
Yeah, yes.
Cool. So here we got it. It's just the get request. And because I need to show all of them, I don't need actually to put a parameter. But of course, when I execute it, I don't have this foreign key. So I made an inner join with between game instance and users, so I could match the info. But I need to wait for the modifications in the game instance to add the foreign key for the user. Yes?
Makes sense.
Cool. Then I would like to ask for questions. I made my list, so I want to be precise.
Yes.
I was checking the databases, and of course, we all need to correct the fact that the foreign key can't be a null field. We have that. But also, I noticed that some of us use data time, and some of use timestamp. But in the default expression, like in this case, we have current timestamp. So I would like to understand if we can give some consistency and use one or the other. See? Here we got timestamp, and the database, it's based on timestamp. And here we got the datetime. And this is I'm just picking up random, right? We have difference in all of them.
Yep. But wasn't there, if I recall it right, wasn't there a discussion on this recently as well?
Yeah, we had a discussion, but I can recall what decision we made. And we still have both of them. And timestamp, Priyanka shared me a link, pretty cool, that explains that timestamp would be the right thing to use. But I just want to know so we can change ones for the others. But having one's data time and other timestamp, it doesn't seem to be consistent.
What's your opinion on that, Niels?
I think I always use timestamp when I could, because it's lighter, I think, in the database. But I don't really think it makes a huge difference for this. But
in this case, for example, that we have that the datetime, but the default expression we are using is current timestamp.
So it's faster. Like if you do lookups, it's faster to use timestamp than it is to use datetime.
Yeah,
for example.
On this app, we don't really have a need for other things besides actually stamping with the time, right? Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion about it, so I think we can just change it to timestamp.
Okay.
This would be a good thing to know if you get asked in an interview.
When I reviewed this with Orhan, he said that timestamp, it's like the right thing to do it. And he's the one to point it out that we need to add these ones in my team. We work on 5 tables and we didn't have this part of default to function.
Okay. Lucia, maybe you can lead the changes from datetime to timestamp and that not nullable.
Okay, perfect.
Would you? Yeah. Yes. So going through the tables and checking that if we need to make a change and then make a PR for that.
Perfect.
Is that okay?
Yes, yeah? Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I have a question about the seats with the foreign keys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I have this? No, I don't have them here. So I'm going to need to. Sorry, just a second. Why can't I close the terminal? Okay, just a second. Is this? Okay, sorry. Yeah. For the seats, I was trying to run in the seats, and I have an issue with the foreign keys. So I'm not sure what are we doing wrong. We were working in the seats with Bangu. Seats. Oh, sorry.
Lucia, I want to clear one thing. If are we talking about that build error which was coming in your PR?
No, not just the build error, but when I was trying to run the seats, I was having an issue with the foreign keys. That it says something about constraint, and I was reading a few articles about it, but I couldn't come up with what I was doing wrong.
Okay.
Future seats.
Because I comment in your PR, there was some spelling field name. It was different.
Yeah. The game. I saw that.
Okay.
I saw it this morning. I told you that I was going to work yesterday, so I wasn't able to work on it. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh. So npm runs it. It was like this, the command? Or running the seats? Can someone refresh me the command?
I think it is.
Or I can do the run db setup and that runs all. npm run db.
I think it's the setup thing.
Oh, I might not be in the right folder, right? No, I have already run the migration, so it has to be just for running the seats. Just give me a second. Next seat run. Okay. For that, we need to come into the. It was no. 0 I wish I could have like a waiting music while I do all these things. Thank you so much. Kinect seed run. Okay.
Isn't there a
I'm gonna make it
dash
bigger.
dash?
Hmm?
Aren't you missing a dash dash? Isn't it like this? I just shared
Okay.
in the chat here on WebEx.
Unknown column foreign key user game ID.
Okay, maybe it works. So it's just giving you a name.
So you think maybe no? Yeah, I'm in the Kinect file, so it should be okay.
The error is there.
Yeah.
Unknown column. Blah blah blah.
Oh, this one is because we don't have the foreign key. But this actualization happened this morning. And I was trying it yesterday. And I was having an issue with the foreign keys.
Lucha, I think I know why you're having these problems, because I just tried to solve that now. It's because you are giving foreign keys in the seeds file. And the foreign keys, they're supposed to come. I don't think we're supposed to insert it.
And then how we create them?
And they're just supposed to come from the we have stated the foreign keys in the table, right? So we don't import them as seeds, because I just had the same problem right now and I was trying to fix it in the break. And what me and Pranka did was when we canceled out these foreign keys and the IDs because we are giving to the seeds, it works, because the IDs we already gave it as an auto increment, so we don't need to insert them as in the seeds. Also, the created at files, we already
that has to move. Yeah.
Yes, we already defined them in the table, so I don't think we need to manually insert them in the seeds. And I think that's why you're getting the errors. And you could check, without the IDs and the foreign keys.
I take out the IDs and
all of the.
But my question is, how the table knows the foreign key?
Because we stated in the tables that have foreign keys, we stated that this table is the foreign key for this table. So we need to have all the files, I think, because I'm not really sure, because I just tried to figure this out in the break we just had now. So does it make sense? Because we already stated it in the table. So it's supposed to get the foreign keys from those tables. We don't manually insert them in the seeds. That's what I kind of understood.
Okay, but for example, let's check this one. Okay. How you establish the relationship between the game instance and the user? It's when you create it from Game Factory?
I don't know. I need to check.
What I am thinking, Lucha, is when you insert something inside game instances or the actual answers or any other table which has foreign key, so it should not be inserted in that particular table. It should be inserted in that table like users here. So it should be inserted in users, and game instances and actual answer should import that value in these game instance and actual answers as a foreign key.
Okay, then maybe I will rephrase my questions with the flow. With the float, and how do I specify that in the seeds? Because the seeds, I asked this question to Orhan in the study group, and he said, well, seeds are just dummy data that you're going to be using. So it's okay if you insert it like this. But let's take an example, I don't know, here. No, users role, no. But something that has like a foreign key, right? Now, Game Factory is going to be always one, but this one, questions. Questions has the foreign key game ID. Okay. If I can take this out where the information is going to come. It's like, can I put some sort of internal reference here?
Yeah, but that's basically what you do with the schema part, right? So you define this is like a foreign key, which means that one points to the ID of the game.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to you have to put in the seed, like to seed the foreign keys, you have to put in a value. It cannot figure it out automatically.
But they just say I shouldn't.
But you should, and otherwise it will not work.
Should we put foreign keys in the seeds?
You have to, because otherwise where they are going to come from.
The database is not that smart. So like basically you just need to tell it this is a reference, and also the number 1 means that it's the reference ID from the game factory or game or whatever table it is, or users.
Okay.
And you can see if you go to the workbench, I don't know if you have that open, and you click on what is it called? On the table on the left, like a long list of tables. If you click the wrench, I think.
Yes, this one, right?
Yes, and then in the bottom of the screen there is like foreign keys, like a tab, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see there is one foreign key here, referencing questions, for example.
Okay.
So here it is. That's where it's defined that you can see it's actually a foreign key and not just an integer number that is put in.
Okay.
But then now I'm having another issue because I just pulled the changes from the database. So of course I'm trying to insert the foreign key in, which is game foreign key user game ID in field list and no column. Maybe I made a mistake naming that, right? Because in the same way that I skipped the number 6, I think Priyanka told me that. Foreign key user game.
Yeah.
User game ID, and maybe in the seats in the table is named on a different way, right? Yeah. But Niels, can I ask you something about constraints and foreign keys? Because that was the main issue I was having before.
Yes.
Game user.
Yes.
What's the issue with it?
It is user game and it's supposed to be game user.
Yeah, that I know. I'm talking about the constraint in the foreign keys.
Okay.
So it depends. Like if it is set as a foreign key as it should, right? Like as a reference to the table, then if that table does not exist, I don't know if it does already exist. Like the game user ID, like all the different foreign key tables have to exist before this will work, right?
Run seat.
That's what that is.
Just a second. Why it doesn't give me the run? Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. I just love these things about it's just an extra. This is the beauty of light
coding.
Yeah. Well, let's. Okay.
Is it like seed run?
Yeah. I was putting seeds. No configuration file. Oh, just a second. Again. Yeah. So connects. This is the error that I was having the other day. So now it was just a naming issue. So we can correct that. But this is what I don't understand.
Role ID. Oh. Where is the role ID here?
The role ID? It's here. Sorry.
But there is some table that is having a foreign key that is called role ID.
Yes, that should be the users or the user's role.
Yeah, I think it's user's role. Did you see the message that I posted today morning about this delete thing? I think it's because of that. I think we should do some delete cascade or something like that for it to work. Because if you just delete in one table, in roles table, and in the other table you have this as a foreign key, so what will that become? What will the state of that particular will become? Right?
Well, yes, but when we were analyzing the foreign keys, remember with the team that we did it? It says that we should drop the foreign key. When we put drop at the end, we should also drop the foreign key. Remember that? Foreign key, role ID. It's this one, right? Sorry, you were working with this.
Yeah. I think it says, are you trying to delete something in your role table?
No. I'm just trying to run the seats.
I don't know if it helps, Lucha, but I tried to delete all the tables in my MySQL workbench and then run it again.
I did that like when we started the call.
Okay. Not the date. Okay, yeah, you did it.
Because whenever I have an issue, that is a really good one to try. But it's something I've been reading a lot about constraining the foreign keys and stuff, but I think I don't understand. That is my problem.
Yeah. I think I can check it after, but I think it's one that might be one of the other seed files that is doing something here.
Okay, perfect. I already did the PR, so we can just check that, and we are working together in this with Vengu, so we both need to know how we can fix it. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Perfect. I think that's it. And then about the moment.js that we need to include it, we will also do that later, just for you to know, guys, because I know we need to correct these things and I need to delete all these parts in the seats. Yes?
Makes sense.
Excellent. Any comments from anyone?
Nothing from me.
Not from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lucha. Just checking. Vengu, do you have anything to present, or was it this week with Lucha?
I have a storybook component for the QR code reader.
Okay.
That I'm still working on, and I have a little challenge with CSS somehow. I can just share it.
Yes, please.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
So my task is to recreate this QR code reader, and in the Figma, there's two versions. That one that has the QR code in the middle, that has a border here, and the other one is the plain one. And I created it like this, but I have a problem getting rid of the little corners here. And because in the original format it is straight line, and in this one they are getting curved because I created them as separate divs. So I don't know if anyone have an idea how to fix that part, because when I run this part, this is already getting rounded like this. And this is my code. And when the stage for the QR code available is there, I will create a border component, and it will be going like this around the curved frame.
Maybe if it is only about CSS, I can help you with that.
Yeah.
After this call.
I think
Um,
you don't need to put this. Your task, I think, is for to open your the cam. No.
I couldn't hear you clearly, Godfrey.
You can share your task. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I want to be able. You need to scan a QR code. So in your task, you need to scan QR code, any QR code. So you don't need to do this with CSS. You don't need something with CSS.
Okay, then I misunderstand my task.
Yeah, you need to work on scan when you open your cam in laptop, so you can scan any QR code. That's why what I understand. Yeah. You don't have work with CSS, so like me, I don't work on CSS.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to. I think you need to use some package or something to scan GoFrance code.
Okay.
Exactly. GoFrance is making that QR code, and you need to scan that one.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So now I understand it better, because for me, I didn't understand how I can scan something by myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to find a package for that.
Yeah.
I think I actually think, I don't know if it's on all phones, but I think most phones, like just the camera itself detects QR codes.
Okay.
Yeah, and how far can you go with Storybook? Because this is a little bit just to mock the front end. How can we do that or can we do that and open a cam on Storybook, Niels?
Yes and no. Like there is a React library for scanning QR codes, for example, you can use.
Yes.
But it will not work on the laptop because of security reasons, it requires SSL, like HTTPS, to be able to work.
Yeah.
So you will not see it working in Storybook because it's not running on HTTPS.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't worry so much about that detail, because we will not work on that on Storybook, but create
I'm pretty sure the phones nowadays, like if you go to camera, at least I just tried it myself. If I just open my camera and I hold like over a QR code, it asks me if I want to go to the URL.
Yeah, for me it was a bit confusing because we use Storybook for mostly the visual presentation. So I wasn't really sure that what I should be doing. So now it is more clear.
Yeah.
Thank you for explanation.
Yeah, it's basically just a frame, and of course you're welcome to explore further the component that you're mocking. But on Storybook, if you can just make the frame and of course there's someone else. I think it's a girlfriend actually. Yeah, it is. That is displaying the QR code.
Yeah.
So please talk to each other, and so we don't have like different widths and heights.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then you can explore a little bit further and understand which library you're going to use to access the camera and blah blah blah. But on Storybook, you don't need to worry about that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a little question, Daniel, here. I mean, how it will work? We will have a scanner when we open the game, and where will we access that QR code? From where? Because we can install that game, or maybe we can access that game in browser. And where will we scan that QR code? How we will scan that? Because the game will be opening in our phone, and how we will scan that code, QR code, from our phone through the camera.
You also have the option of the code. So you copy the code from one page and you go to the. Actually, it could. When we present the QR code and the code underneath, we could have like a little button to open the game.
Okay.
But the short answer is, with this flow that we have planned, you could just copy the code and then use it in another tab and open the game.
Okay.
Have you considered that, girlfriend, to have a link that opens directly the game?
Please again.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen so I can explain it better. Yeah, and before I explain the task, I'm logged in, but I can't edit this. This should be
Yeah.
pick game mode or something like that.
I open it again for you.
Yeah. So the idea here is that, okay, you have a button share, so you can actually do. What do you do with this button share, girlfriend? Is it just to copy this code?
A button share normally. This button open another model for example, Facebook or Messenger or SMS. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, but maybe we could do a quick fix, and once you click here, it copies to the clipboard or something like that.
Daniel, actually, sometimes when we share the game, it usually share the game link via some other app like WhatsApp or Messenger or something else. So it usually shares the. Actually, it copy the code and then it shares to the another apps.
Yeah.
It does both.
Yeah, but we could use that button to we can't reach all the sharing options, right? And we have to keep it simple. So we focus and we actually deliver a game that works. So
you can edit now, Daniel. You can edit anything.
I can. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So maybe here we can change this button to copy it to the clipboard, and then you go to this page and you open it. Or we can add another button here that opens the game directly. I don't know if that answers your question. Does it answer the question?
So we don't need to share the code for. We need just copy or open the game directly, or what?
Well, by copying.
Because copying, I think it just adds one more step, and it is not convenient, because when I open some game, or I try to play it, so I would not like it to open some another tab to just copy and paste. I will like if I click some button and it will go to the next screen with the same tab, browser same tab, but in the next screen, and it will copy paste itself and then it will be running.
Yeah, we can add another button here that opens the game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just a button, and so that's not in terms of components. It's not a big difference. Govern, where do you edit this this name here? Because I can see that there's a comment here, but is this the? Oh, it's here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pick game mode. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that was it. So Bengu has presented. Who's next?
Can I ask one simple thing? When I now look at the libraries for scanning QR codes, they recommend using React Native library.
Yeah.
So should I learn React Native?
No.
Okay.
No. That's a whole new module. Or,
Yeah.
No, don't worry. This is a web app, so it works on the browser, even though the layout is optimized for mobile.
Okay.
So yeah, to some extension, this project should have been done with React Native, right, Niels?
Yes.
Yeah.
They want to run it as a native app, yes. But it's just a responsive web one.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Daniel, I think I get the answer of my question. Why we are using QR code if we cannot scan it from our phone itself? I think if like my friend, she's playing same game and I like that game, so I can scan that QR code from her phone to my phone, and then it will be running.
Yes.
That's the same idea as this, I think. Right.
Yes. Yeah, and because we like to do complicated stuff, right? Yeah. But yes, all the teams we could imagine that all the teams are by the Little Mermaid, for example, and they all have one opens the game and then they just go and scan. Each team scans on the phone. That could be a user story for the QR code.
Yes.
But it looks good, right? It looks more professional with the QR code. Yeah. So that's cool. We can add that button to open directly the game, and yeah, and that's it. Yep. So who's next? Mohammed, Priyanka.
Yes, I will go next. If yeah.
Go ahead.
Share my screen.
And you should always be able to go back or have somewhere you can share it from again after you start the game. Otherwise, it's going to be, I think, difficult. You should go.
What is that?
Like if you start the game and you forgot to share the code, then you have to restart everything, right?
Yeah, then you delete the. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, back button, right?
Yeah, but
maybe Daniel, it will appear in the profile page. There will be a profile page, I think, which will say the gamer name and the stage or the rank and the scores. So it can also show the QR code of the game to share.
Oh.
Yeah, we can look at that as the last thing, I think.
Yeah, but I will note that down. If the game is running, we should be able to share the game. Yep, again. Yeah, that's a good story. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually started working last night because I needed the table and seeds, of course, and it got approved last night from Mohammed. So I was actually working late night and I don't know what I did, but I am having this problem where it says that error occurred while trying to proxy request API documentation, and it doesn't run on. It doesn't run here. It says the same error here. I don't know what I did.
Yeah. Well, working at 5 o'clock or 2 o'clock might generate errors as well in bugs. So
what did you just run? What command did you just run?
I did
dev or
dev, yes.
What if you go instead of 3,000 to 5,000? There is also the loading, or is it the same thing?
Unable to connect.
All right. Oh, just 1 second. Sorry, I just have to run for 2 minutes, real quick. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
so what does it say?
It says that it cannot connect, and there is some problem with proxy.
Run again your project npm dev.
Okay.
Yes, and now when you open this, yeah, put API, yeah, and the document.
Why do we have that weird microphone on the fav icon? Don't we have a fav icon for this app?
No, well, I don't know.
I think React changed it. All this icon, 5 icon.
React changed it.
Yeah. When I open other project, so the same icon there.
Yeah, because this is part of the boilerplate. Yeah, but we should just delete that weird one. I'll just note it down.
Or we can go just to the root of this file and replace our icon with that one, so it will appear here.
Yes.
Our icon will
Yes.
appear here.
I can do that.
Yeah. If you can make a PR for that. You guys don't understand my frustration, but every project we have the microphone there. And it's like, no, we've done that microphone the podcast on class 7, so it's many classes ago. Just a little sharing moment. Okay. So okay, and if you try 5,000, what happens?
If I do what?
5,000.
5,000 instead of 3,000.
It doesn't run anything on 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 / API.
Yeah, with API and documentation. Same link, just to change the 5,000.
Yeah, it's there. Yes.
Nothing. Unable to connect.
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
Preeti, Priyanka, I think that is because you are running on Firefox. If you do it in a Google Chrome, maybe your problem would solve. Because I had the same problem with the Firefox.
Maybe.
I could have understand Masume with CSS, because CSS does that. We need to fix some codes with CSS, but it is a development issue. Like I must have done something with code. That's why it is behaving like that. But it will be really weird if it is true.
And localhost 5,000. So sorry.
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay, I forget about that.
Can you show us what it says in the console, please? In VS Code? It's not building up, so you're never going to be able to open, no matter what the host 3,000 or 5,000. Right? So maybe we should need to check. It seems like an inconvenience with Node. Let me see.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's fine.
You figured out? Yeah, there was some weird error. I saw that. Like middleware or something when you ran
it. What should I do to fix it?
Do you have any other thing open? Because I noticed you have a lot of things open in your browser and stuff.
Yeah, but there is only one project here. This one. I have a lot of windows, but the local host, I only have one local host running here.
Yeah, but you're not you have just one VS Code session open, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but there was some error before. I thought with like route use middleware or something.
But what should I do, Niels? I don't know. I have not any idea where to.
Can you show that? Can you run it again or something so I can see the error? Yeah, just kill it. Alright, so there it is. So run this the storybook or whatever other part here. Final project. Nice. Yeah, so I go back. And it is the right URL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, scroll up.
This line is new.
Yeah, scroll up. Scroll up to the top, please. In the terminal.
On VS Code.
In the terminal in VS Code, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Up.
Scroll.
The terminal.
I cannot hear. Please say again.
Go to the terminal. Scroll up to the top. No, that's not the terminal. That's the code editor.
Yes.
So here, right? You see the whole blue thing going on here. Scroll a little bit more up. There's some error with the router.use.
Yes.
Down here with the blue text, right? Does anyone else have the same error when they run it?
I think I had a similar error before. And what I did, I started to comment all the controllers that I did. And in one point it ran. And then I checked it and I was missing an module export. Amer and Bengu were with me in the call. Remember, guys?
Yeah, so that could sound like a similar problem because it's assuming it wants to get a function, but it gets an object instead or something like that.
Exactly. So I was missing exporting a module, so we should check the end at the end.
Yeah. So wait.
I only have two. Just for
I don't think the bottom thing. I don't think you can write possible.exports router. I think that's the problem.
Okay, I will comment it. But shouldn't it export something? If I comment it, it will be like it will.
Yeah. Just see if that makes a difference.
The thing with commented, Priyanka, it's because then you realize that at some point you had wrote the code in the wrong way. See?
Yeah.
So that is when we need to try to find the mistake.
It doesn't give a lot of, it's not super helpful for the backend part, at least, to tell you what's wrong. So I think you will still have the error. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that it's the exports part that is the problem, because you kind of try to import it, but it doesn't export anything. And usually it's like modules exports something, because you can only export modules. You cannot name it your own. Whatever. Like if anyone else goes to, I don't know, if anyone else in here goes to their router, whatever router.js, it will probably see modules.exports and then the name. Right. So if you go to, I don't know, this one, yeah, let's scroll to the bottom of this file. You see module exports, right? So this is the problem.
But this one works fine. I mean, before I did all this.
But it should be module exports, because that's the only way you can export something from Node. You cannot call it whatever you want. That makes sense.
Just a second. I think I got it. Can you show us possible answers, Priyanka?
Yes.
So instead of possible answers, exports.
You put capital A, right?
Sorry, say again.
Capital A?
Yeah. But this was the name everywhere here. And should I uncomment it? This 61 number line?
And fix the capital A?
Yes.
But Priyanka, but it is work with capital A. It doesn't matter with the name. It has a capital letter or not.
It's not the problem.
That's not the problem. Yeah. I think Priyanka, if
I can show you I can write you in the chat what you should instead of doing that.
Yes. Yes. So should I stop sharing my screen? And
1 second.
We all want to see the solution, Priyanka.
Yes, absolutely.
You should write this instead.
Yeah, Priyanka, please check the WebEx chat. Niels just wrote. Keep sharing. We want to see if it works. We still have a little bit of time for Mohammed, so.
Okay,
I don't have anything, Daniel. It's okay for me. And also I have a problem with my SQL in my computer because today I formatted my computer. So I'm struggling with something to configure my SQL. So I don't have any questions. So Priyanka, she can't take my turn. It's okay. But I have something to you, Priyanka, just to say. If your server is working, it's like a normal without your files, just with a module. So
it
now
just worked.
Okay, fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
But do you know why it did not work?
Yes. Because model is something which should be like constant in every file. It could not be changed.
Why?
It cannot be changed.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. module.
Does anyone else know? No? Okay. And I will explain it. So this is like you've tried to write React code, right? Where you write export const whatever something, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that is the ES6 way. Have you heard about the difference between ES6 and ES5?
I heard it, but I don't know what are the yes.
It's just like newer versions. So like for example, ES5 is this syntax. I can show. Okay, so exactly like for example, you I can try to write it in the chat.
Okay.
You all tried to write it something like this, right? I think.
Yes.
Right. So this exact same thing, but with a different syntax, is this. So this is just the way you export things from JavaScript files. So that's why it has to be called that. That makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. A little bit like a little bit fancy, but yes, it makes sense. That ES5 and ES6.
And the same way here is, for example, like this. So these two are the same thing. And you might have seen this one in React because it's using the new syntax, and this is the right one is the older syntax, and the left one is the newer one. And on Node, we use the old one.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So if you want to export anything from a file in Node, you should write it like this. Because it's a module to export.
The last one. This one. Export default component and no, this one. Because it is new. Okay. We'll just copy paste in. Yes, thank you so much, Niels. Because I couldn't see anything, so I was not able to do anything. Now I can see that stuff is happening here. I can see things. So I will continue my work after the call.
All right.
Okay.
I will just share this with you as well. So this article explains it as well for those who are curious.
Yes. Take it.
So they just show a lot of different export stuff. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Does anyone wants to share something else? I would say that we have two options, or we go a little bit more in detail on the PRs that on the issues that you were presenting, or we start closing some old PRs. I have PRs that are open 7, 5, and 4 days. To get rid of them.
I will vote to close those PRs.
Is it you, Priyanka?
Yes.
Yeah. I would like yours to be closed, yeah, or to be merged, yeah.
Yes.
Can you demo what's happening with yours so we can just fix it and get it done with?
Yes. I will share my screen again.
Yeah. Just gonna update the branch here. And maybe after that, Swati, we can go through your questions a little bit more in detail.
Okay. Yeah.
Was it you, Swati, that we just postponed the?
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, it's just running the tests again because I updated the branch. It wasn't updated. But let's check what is the last comment.
Okay. Yeah, I merged feature choice model. Here, should I open storybooks to display my component here?
Yes, please.